Malagarasi River is close on 400 kilometers coming from Burundi. It's a unique system in the sense that there's waterfall, so the upper end of the Malagarasi is its own ecosystem. No influence comes from Lake Tanganyika. It's a special place in the sense that we've got big swamplands. It's the first Ramsar site in Tanzania. The bird species, the fish species, there are quite a few species that are endemic to this area in particular. You know, encroachment is always going to be a problem because the human population is growing. But this is predominantly a cattle area. So you don't have a lot of people in the sense that you have big villages on the river. I mean, all the villages are 20, 30 kilometers from here. It's people that are doing their cattle and a little bit of agriculture. Agriculture is not a big thing here. The biggest difficulty is trying to find research on this area. There isn't a hell of a lot that we can work on. So a lot of the work that we're doing now is pioneer work. We're opening up to see what there is because we don't have a lot of reference to work off. We started last year in Moyowosi on the Malagarasi River. Adam Clements brought in a boat. We didn't really know what we were getting into. We drifted the first month cleaning the river, checking for poachers nets in partnership with Tower, and cleaned up the system. There was a lot of poaching in this river system. In the past they've had challenges with refugees, so it was a big challenge. It was a matter of just getting in and clearing out the camps, cleaning out the nets, cleaning out all the dried stock, and again, just presence. Presence is the most important factor. So we had the presence on the water for the first time, and we've had a resounding success. It's virtually 100% now, where we're now clean, and it's now controlled fishing. The people generally knew what they were doing was wrong. No one had permits, so we never had any resistance per se. You know, they can apply for permits to fish in the river. There is a legal way to fish on the river as a local. We check their permits. They got to camp in specific places. We know where they are, and we develop a relationship with them, and they help us with the anti-poaching, reporting to us as to where we need to go if there's something that's not right. We do work in partnership with the locals, and they're helping us as well in keeping this ecosystem clean, and it benefits all parties. They get to be able to fish, and they're getting a bigger catch now than what they had before because there's no poaching. The meat poaching here predominantly is foot snares. It's come from Central Africa, West Africa. It's the neighboring countries that culturally have used foot snares. From what we've seen, it's not a Tanzanian thing. Traditionally, this area is cattle. They're not going to go and set snares because they're going to injure their cattle. They don't want people coming in. They inform us on who's coming in from the outside. So we do a lot of work with the community, and we get out and go into the communities, walk from the river, go and see guys if we see people, and talk with them. And we do patrols. What we pick up on the water, we pick up trails of guys going in. We can see where the boats have gone in. Then our teams will track the poachers down, and we'll go and find them. So we're not just working the river system. We're working up to 20 kilometers inland from the river for the entire system. Whenever we're on patrol and we meet up with guys on the river, we get out the boat, we go and talk to the locals, they get to know us, and we tell them what we're doing, and it helps us a lot with our informant base. We've become friends with our neighbors, and then they inform us and help us because they are the first to know who's coming in from the outside. There's been no ivory poaching that we've seen here, and we've seen no evidence of ivory poaching either. There's been a big effort from Tower in the conservation of elephant here, and they are coming back strongly. We do helicopter patrols, aeroplane patrols, we're doing game counts, where the movement is and how the game has changed in its movement. So no elephant poaching. Western Tanzania, no one's seen it as an area to come to. Most of the Malagarasi goes down the Moyowosi Game Reserve. It's predominantly hunting. No one's looked at this river as a fishing destination. There have been professional hunters and the odd person fishing in the lower Malagarasi, but the upper Malagarasi, there's been no access. I think that's the biggest challenge, and I think the industry's changed a lot as well. We are seeing fishing coming to the forefront now as a second to hunting. That's what got this going, to offer something else to the hunting. The water was here, it was just a matter of coming in and having a look. No one's really taken the time to look at what is in these waters and is it viable to put in the investment that Adam has put in here to develop something. Game species for the fishing, tigerfish is a predominant species. We get yellowfish in here. We caught a new species the other day, for us here in this section of the river. The vundu here are exceptionally big. It's tigerfish, vundu, and yellowfish that are the main species that fishermen come for. This is a new project. No one's done it, so we are still learning different methods, working with it, but it's all catch and release. With sport fishing, it's come on in leaps and bounds. The fishery has come back big time. Hunters are providing the funds for the conservation in this area. It's been wonderful to have the support from Adam and through the hunters helping us to develop this ecosystem and develop the river and be able to bring it back to what it should be. Albeit there have been pressures in the past from poaching, it is still a flourishing ecosystem. There are no poisons or toxins that have been put into the system. It's a clean river system. There's no plastic, no rubbish. That in itself says a lot because it tells us that whatever's happening up north is being looked after as well. First 6 months of working down the river, I think we saw maybe 50 head of game. That was it. We didn't see anything from the boat. We had to get out and go and walk and have a look. We saw one warthog. We never saw any buffalo. There was nothing. There was a huge presence of people in the area illegally. Working with Tower and Adam Clements, we have seen a phenomenal comeback. You know, we're seeing Siratunga now, we're seeing herds of buffalo, we're seeing giraffe, eland, sable, roan. It's incredible to see the comeback in such a short time, how much game has come back into this area. It's fantastic. For us, we feel good for what we've done. We have a small team on the river and we work a big area, and see what's happened in the last 2 years. It's amazing. It really is amazing. I think like anything, the biggest challenge is finance. You know, to be able to get the resources, and you know, don't get me wrong, we've had exceptional support and we've been able to achieve a hell of a lot. I see a very good future for this river. If we can all work together and keep on with the road that we've taken, we'll bring back Moyowosi. It's not that Moyowosi Malagarasi River has been poor. I mean, it is a rich ecosystem. You can always get better. And that's what we strive for, is just get better and better and better. And with that, everything else will follow through. That's just time.